I was sitting in traffic on I-270 last Tuesday. We haven't moved in about 8 minutes or so. And I looked over and I noticed there was a woman sitting in her car eating a full meal, fork and everything. She wasn't even stressed about it, just living life. And I thought to myself, that's Montgomery County. There are parts of living here that will test you. And there are parts that are so good that you just learn to eat dinner on a highway and keep it moving. So let me break it all down for you. The real pros and the real cons of living in Montgomery County, Maryland. I'm starting with the stuff that might make you second guess the move, because if you can handle that, you're gonna love it here. Con number one, your wallet is gonna feel it, and not just from the mortgage. Let me start with a number that might make your jaw drop. The median sold price for a home in Montgomery County right now, as of February 2026, is $606,750,000. That's not Bethesda, that's not Potomac, that's the county-wide median, and it's up 1.4% from last year. This is not an affordable place to buy a home. If you're looking at Bethesda or Potomac specifically, you're adding $200,000, $500,000 on top of that number. But here's the thing most people don't budget for. It's not just the mortgage that gets you. It's everything after. Property taxes. Montgomery County reassesses property values every 3 years, and they've been increasing aggressively. So 21% in 2024, almost 18% in 2025, and another 12.6% for residential properties in 2026. So that doesn't mean your tax bill jumps 12% overnight. It phases in over 3 years, but it adds up fast. The average homeowner is looking at about $31 per month increase from just the latest round. I've had a client who moved here and they were genuinely shocked when they saw their first property tax bill. It's one of those things nobody warned you about until you're already here. And then there's Pepco. If you're on Pepco, and most of us in Montgomery County are, your electric bill has been climbing. Let me just show you my actual bills. April, $178. Okay, manageable. May jumped to $351. June, $557 for 1 month of electricity. And it stayed in that 300 plus range throughout the summer. We're not talking about a mansion here. This is a regular home in Montgomery County, Maryland. We installed solar panels in October, and since then, my bills have dropped to $100 to $220 range. December was $100, February $143. So yes, solar helped a lot. But the fact that a normal household in Montgomery County was paying over $500 a month in electricity before that, that tells you everything about what's happening with energy costs right now. Pepco residential rates, they have jumped 15 to 30% depending on your rate class since mid-2025. And they're expected to keep rising through 2026. A big reason? The data centers. These massive facilities, they're expanding across Maryland and Northern Virginia, consuming enormous amounts of electricity. The regional power grid operator ran its capacity auction, and it cleared at a record high price for the second year in a row. Data centers, they are causing the majority of the increased demand, and that cost trickles down to all of us. Maryland lawmakers, they are working on legislation to regulate this, but right now, you're feeling it every single month. So when you're budgeting for your move, don't just think about the mortgage. Think about property taxes that go up every cycle, utility bills that are higher than you expect, groceries, gas, and a decent dinner out. Everything costs more here than the national average. The question is whether what you get is worth the expense, and we'll get there. Con number two, the traffic will test your patience and your relationships. So if you work in DC and you're commuting from anywhere in Montgomery County during rush hour, block out 45 minutes to an hour minimum. The Beltway, 270, Connecticut Avenue, 355, they all turn into parking lots between 7 and 9 a.m. and again from 3:30 to 7-ish. So if you're doing the Virginia to Maryland commute, think again. 495 going on to I-270, that stretch is maybe about 12 miles, but it feels like absolute hell. I avoid it like the plague, trust me. And I've been late to showings more times than I like to admit because of backup traffic from accidents. It just takes one fender bender and suddenly that 20 minutes drive, it's an hour. Now, there is metro access. The red line, it runs throughout the county, and that helps. But if your job isn't close to a metro stop, or you live on the western part of the county in places like Clarksburg or even further Damascus, you are driving and you're sitting in that traffic. This is the number one complaint I hear from people who move here. Not housing costs, not taxes. So if a short commute is non-negotiable for you, just plan your home location around your workplace. That one decision, it will make or break your experience here. Con number 3, it's not the most exciting nightlife county. If you're in your 20s and you want bars, clubs, and a scene, Montgomery County is probably not your spot. Bethesda and Silver Spring, it has some options, especially during the day, lots of sports bars, lounges, but this county's personality, it is more great restaurants and home by 10 p.m. than out until 2 a.m. Most of the social life here, it's very community oriented, farmers market, local events, parks, family stuff, different festival, which is actually a huge pro if that's your speed. But if you're coming from a city expecting that same energy, just know it's different here. Con number 4, some areas, it feels very suburban-y. And there are parts of Montgomery County that are strip malls and chain restaurants. Just being real, because not every neighborhood has that charm and walkability. So if you pick the wrong pocket, you might feel like you're living in anywhere USA. And this is exactly why location-specific research matters. The difference between living in downtown Bethesda versus a random subdivision off 355 is night and day. Same county, but completely different vibe. So that's the stuff that might keep you up at night. And I didn't hold back because I think you're smart enough to handle it. But here's the thing. People don't stay in Montgomery County for decades because of the traffic. They stay because of what I'm about to tell you. The pros. Pro number 1, the schools. But let me be real with you about what that actually means right now. You've probably heard that Montgomery County Public Schools, it's one of the best public school systems in the country. And for a long time, that's been true. Nationally ranked high schools like Walt Whitman, Winston Churchill, and Richard Montgomery High, incredible magnet programs, IB programs, language immersion, opportunities in a public school here that people in other states pay $30,000 a year in private tuition for. But here's where I need to keep it real with you, because if I just left it at that, I wouldn't be doing my job. MCPS, which is Montgomery County Public School, they has been under a lot of scrutiny lately, and some of it, it's well deserved. Enrollment dropped by over 2,600 students from just 2024 to 2025. And the district is projecting a loss of nearly 7,000 more students over the next 6 years. Some of that is declining birth rates in the county. Births dropped from about 13,000 in 2014 to around 10,900 by 2023. But that's not the whole story. Homeschooling in Montgomery County surged 28% in a single year, going from about 2,700 students to 3,500. Private school enrollment is up, and parents are being pretty open about why. There are real achievement gaps that have not moved in decades. Less than half of Black third graders in the district were reading on grade 1 level based on recent test data. The superintendent himself stood in front of parents and said the experience at one Montgomery County school is very different from another, and that is not okay. His words. On top of that, there's a major frustration right now over how the district is handling changes to its academic programs. They're proposing a regional model that would restructure how students access magnet programs, AP courses, and IB. The idea is to make those programs more accessible across the county. But parents, the PTA Council, and the Teachers Union are all pushing back, saying the district is moving too fast without enough community input or a clear path for staffing and funding. Now, as of early 2026, the Montgomery County Board of Education, they are considering a proposal to permanently close the Thomas S. Wootton High School in Rockville, Maryland. So the plan involved relocating the student body to the new Crown High School in Gaithersburg, starting in the 2027 to 2028 school year. That's got families across the county fired up. Some parents are calling the latest proposal unfair. So what does all of this mean for you? Well, it means Montgomery County Public School still has incredible strengths. Over 95% of schools earned 3 stars or higher on the state report card this year. 18 schools got a perfect 5 stars. The resources, the programs, the infrastructure, it's still miles ahead of most districts in the country. But it's not a situation where you can move anywhere in Montgomery County and assume your kid is going to get the same experience. The 5-star schools, they're often in the wealthier pockets. Bethesda, Potomac, several schools in Gaithersburg, Germantown, and Silver Spring, they are sitting at 2 stars. Same county, very different outcomes. My tip to you, you need to research the specific schools in the specific neighborhoods you're looking at. Look at the Maryland report card ratings. Talk to parents whose kids actually attend the school and visit the school if you can. The opportunity is still here, but it's not automatic. And I'd rather you know than going in than find out after you've already signed a lease. Pro number 2, the diversity, it is not a talking point. It's real life. Montgomery County is one of the most diverse counties in America. And I think I've said this in almost all of my videos. And I don't mean that in a we put it on our website kind of way. I mean, you'll go to Wootton and eat incredible Salvadorian food. Watch my Wootton video that I posted last week. You can walk next door for Ethiopian and grab boba across the street from a Korean grocery store. Your kids will grow up with friends from everywhere. Your neighbors will look different from you and think different from you. And that's just normal here. It's not forced. It's not performative. It's just a regular Tuesday. For a lot of people who move here from less diverse area, that's one of the most refreshing things about living in Moco. It just feels like the real world. Pro number 3, you're close to everything without being in everything. So DC is right there. Baltimore is 45 minutes north. Annapolis is an hour east. If you want to go to the beach, you can. You'll get there in about 3 hours. I was going to say 2 hours, but I drive fast. The mountains are 90 minutes west. And yes, you have plenty of options around you. But your actual day-to-day, it's quieter. You have space. You have trees. You have parks. Montgomery County has over 400 parks. That's not a typo. 400. You get the career opportunities of DC metro area, government, defense, biotech, with a quality of life that's significantly more livable than living in the city itself. That combination is really hard to find. Pro number 4, the job market is genuinely strong. This isn't a one industry town. You've got the federal government, you've got NIH right here in Bethesda, Walter Reed, Lockheed Martin, Marriott International is headquartered in Bethesda. The biotech corridor along 270 is booming. If you lose a job here, you have options. That economic diversity is a safety net that most counties cannot offer you. And for your long-term financial picture, your home value is supported by the fact that people always want to live where the jobs are. Pro number 5, the food scene here is seriously underrated. And I have receipts. People sleep on Montgomery County food, and it drives me crazy. Sure, we don't have the trendy restaurants that get written up in the Washingtonian every week. I mean, we have some, but not all of them. But the real food here, let me just take you on a quick tour of where I actually eat on a regular. Taipei Tokyo in North Bethesda, small laid back joint, perfect when you don't want a production, you just want real good food. The sushi, always fresh, so good. Stella's Bakery is right next door. You want to go early for some of the best stuff. Trust me, it's worth it. Over in Bethesda, Andy's Pizza is a go-to. No regrets in North Bethesda if you want pizza and pasta. It'll have you coming back. M&N Pizza. It's on Del Rey Avenue in Bethesda for something a little less traditional. Their pizza is very different. It's different in the best way possible. Sarah's handmade ice cream when you need a treat. You and the kids can go there. Some of the best ice cream, the flavors to die for. Parkway Deli, a classic, and Z&H from Middle Eastern flatbread that you'll be dreaming about. And that's just my personal rotation. I haven't even touched the dim sum spots in Rockville, the Salvadorian food in Wheaton, the Ethiopian in Silver Spring, the Indian food in Germantown. I mean, we have so many options. It's endless. The immigrant-owned spots across this county, they are some of the best food in the entire DMV area. And ask anyone, they'll tell you. And you're not paying DC prices for it. A full incredible meal for $12 to $18 at most of these places that I just mentioned, that's not a typo either. Go, you'll find out. Pro number 6. The county actually takes care of its residents. This is one of those things I keep discovering the longer I live here. Montgomery County runs a massive network of services and programs for residents that most people don't even know exist. Health programs for uninsured residents, free dental and prenatal care, food assistance program, an immigrant resource center, job seeker programs, free senior meals, mental health resources. The list goes on and on. There's actually a searchable database called Info Montgomery with thousands of programs covering health, education, employment, recreation, and so much more. I'm constantly coming across a new service that the county provides. Whether it's a homeowner tax credit program that can save you money or a community resource you didn't know existed, MoCo reinvests in its people in a way that you genuinely notice when you live here. Compared to neighboring counties, the level of support is remarkable. Is that partly why taxes are so high? Yes. But when you see where the money goes, it starts to make more sense. So here's what I'll leave with you. Montgomery County, it's not for everyone. If you want cheap, if you want exciting nightlife, if you want a short commute no matter where you work, this might not be your place. And that's okay. But if you want to live somewhere that actually looks like the world, if you want access to serious careers without sacrificing your weekends to concrete, if you want schools that when you pick the right one can genuinely set your kid up, Montgomery County, it is hard to beat. And here's what the current market looks like if you're considering a move. Homes are sitting a bit longer than they were last year. The median days on market went from 10 days to 26 days. Active listings, they are up over 21%. So that means you have more options and a little more breathing room than buyers had a year ago. But new listings coming to the market are actually down 16%. So inventory isn't flooding in just yet. It's just not flying off the shelves as fast as they used to. Showings are still up almost 5%, which tells me that buyers are looking. They're just being more thoughtful. That's actually a healthy market for both sides. I'm not going to tell you to move here. That's your call. But if you're thinking about it and you want someone who will be just as honest in person as I was in this video, I'm around. Links in the description. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.